Hi, boys and girls. I hope that you've been enjoying your time going through the agenda and learning about nonfiction. When we had to leave school, we were just wrapping up our unit about fiction, and we were learning about characters and setting and problem and solution, and we were learning how to retell fiction stories, and we learned that fiction is really just for fun. You're not going to learn facts when you read fiction. Well, the next unit in Reader's Workshop is nonfiction. And I know Mrs. Gentile made some videos to teach you about some nonfiction, but I thought I'd make a quick video just to go over some of the important parts again with you, because it doesn't hurt to hear the same thing again, especially when it's something new. So the first thing I want to show you is that we can have fiction and nonfiction on the same topic. So this is a fiction story called Froggy's Day with Dad. What do you see? Just looking at the cover, what do you see to tell you that this is fiction? So the frogs are standing on 2 feet. They're wearing clothes, right? If I open this book up, I can see that the frogs are talking. So if you want to learn about frogs, if you're interested in frogs, is this the book you should read? No, you're going to read this book just for fun, just to enjoy a fun story. This book about frogs is nonfiction. So if you're interested in frogs and you'd like to learn more about them, you'd want to read a book like this. This is going to teach you some facts about frogs. You can see that there's a photograph on the cover. This is an illustration. So this is a picture that somebody drew. This is a photograph. Not all nonfiction has photographs like this, but a lot of them do. And in this book, you can read to learn about how frogs lay eggs. And inside those eggs are tadpoles. Tadpoles change and grow and change and grow. And then those eggs, they hatch, and there's our tadpole. And those tadpoles change and grow into frogs, and the frogs change and grow. You can see he still has his little tail here, but as he changes and grows, it starts to go away. And here he's still changing and growing. You can see it looks a little bit different. And then once the frogs get to be adults, then they lay eggs and the whole cycle starts again. At the end of this book, some more facts about frogs. So, books about the same topic. These are both about frogs, but you can see one is fiction and one is nonfiction. One is just for fun, and one you can learn some facts. Something else I want to show you are some of the text features of nonfiction. This is something that makes nonfiction really special, is that it has things that fiction does not. So not only is it going to teach us some facts and help us to learn more about a topic, but it has some text features that you don't see in fiction books. This book is called Our Senses. Again, it has a photograph on the cover. Little girl smelling some lilacs. And if you have any lilacs in your yard or in your neighborhood, you know that they are out right now and they smell amazing. So this is about our senses. Excuse me, the first text feature I want to show you is this right here. It's called Table of Contents. When you read a fiction book, you open it and you start at the first page and you read it all the way through. That's how you know what happened in the story. When you read nonfiction, though, you don't have to read the whole book. Sometimes nonfiction books can be really, really thick, really big. So you don't have to read the whole thing. Table of Contents breaks the book down into all its parts. So let's say you only wanted to read about the sense of smell. You don't want to read the whole book right now. You just want to read about the sense of smell. You come here to the Table of Contents and you look down, sense of smell, and you follow it across page 14. So that means you don't have to start right at the beginning. You can just skip right to page 14 and read about the sense of smell. Oh, actually, I think that's page 16. It's hard to see backwards in the camera. Page 16, sense of smell. So that's something that's really different about nonfiction. You don't have to start at the first page. You can start anywhere you want, depending on what you want to learn about. If you wanted to learn more about how to be a cook, and you really wanted to know how to make pizza, well, would you take a cookbook and read the whole cookbook? No, you'd go to the table of contents, you'd find where the pizza recipe was, and then you would go to that recipe, right? So that's something that's different about nonfiction, this table of contents. And we can see here that this is broken into your senses: see, hear, smell, touch, taste, glossary, and index. We're going to talk about those two in a minute. But table of contents, that's an important text feature. See if you have any books at home, any nonfiction at home with a table of contents. And if you don't, jump on Raz Kids and see if you can find one. So something else that nonfiction has, can you see this big bold writing right here? It says your senses. Do you remember that we saw that right there in the table of contents, your senses? So if that's what you want to learn about, and you go to page 4, there it is. It tells you that you went to the right spot, and that what you're going to read next tells about your senses. Can you name your 5 senses? Look at how dark that word is. We've talked before in Reader's Workshop about why an author might make a word so dark. And an author does that because it's an important word. This book is about 5 senses. So the word senses is a pretty important word. And I want you to remember that word because we're going to see it when we get to the end of the book in the glossary. Your senses and your brain work together. There's another big bold word, brain. That's an important word. The author decided that that was so important that, let's see, is it a he or a she? That she made it big and bold for us. Your senses help keep you safe. Your senses help you learn things. Oh, and look at this. See. Do you remember back in the table of contents? You only wanted to learn about the sense of sight. You would have gone right to page 12. There it is. You can see with your eyes. That's an important word, eyes. Hear. You can hear with your ears. Smell. You can smell with your nose. Oh, and she's smelling. Oh, looks like she's got some little petunias there. I like those petunias. Touch. You can touch with your hands. And he's holding one of those little pinwheels that spin around. Taste. You can taste with your tongue. You need all of your senses. Now, look right here, glossary. Remember in the table of contents, I told you that we were going to get to the glossary? All those words that I pointed out to you that were in the bold print, like senses and brain and eyes. What you see here in the glossary. Brain, eyes, senses, tongue. If you're reading nonfiction and you don't know what a word is or what a word means that's in bold print, can you name your 5 senses? You read this page and you say, I don't really know what senses means. Well, the author made it nice and bold to tell you that was an important word. You can just go right to the glossary. And remember, you can use your table of contents here and see that it's on page 23. You go right to the glossary and you find that word senses. 5 powers you use to learn about your surroundings. So this glossary is like a little dictionary that tells you what words mean. This is a text feature of nonfiction that can be really, really helpful. So just like table of contents, see if you can find a nonfiction book that has a glossary. And the last text feature is called the index. So the index lists some important words and it tells you what page to find them on. So it says 5, learn, knows, senses, and it tells you what page you can find those words so that you can read more about them. See if you can find a nonfiction book with an index. So those are just some of the text features of nonfiction, boys and girls. And those text features are there to help us because remember, we read nonfiction to learn about a topic. And in order for us to be able to learn as much as we can about a topic, we have those features like the table of contents, the glossary, the index, those bold words, the headings at the top of each section. Those are all features that help us to be able to learn as much as we can about a topic. So keep working through that agenda, keep learning more about nonfiction, and let me know if you find any books in your own house. Maybe mom and dad even have some books with text features. And cookbooks are great books that have nonfiction text features. Or even the manual in mom and dad's car. Those have text features of nonfiction. So see what you can find. All right, boys and girls, have a great day.